Okay, I know you only had just a few days to work on stuff, but definitely noticed some things that should work on here. Just a reminder. So like when it comes to sending things over, let's say early. I know this wasn't early, but like say there's a like a top speed on things, so such as number one here reaching 180. Totally fine to send something in early and just demonstrating the 180. But I think the best thing to do though, if that's going to happen, as soon as you're about to attempt 180, go ahead and start recording that because you might pull it off. So for something like this right now, don't feel like I need to see it done at the slower speeds, because if you're nailing it at 180 just fine, well then just send that. Now, if you don't have that happen prior to you recording to send things over, I want you to record your entire final practice session. You don't need to edit anything out. You don't need to try and make things shorter. Just let me take care of that, as far as what I feel I need to watch. So I want you to record the whole thing, because, and again, a full final practice session, because this also gives you the best opportunity for the best possible performance. So I don't know if you're going up in tens to try and make the video shorter, or if that's how you're practicing. So a big thing to remember, never practice by going up in tens or 20s, anything like that. Doesn't matter how easy things have felt before, no matter how fast you got, never, ever, ever go any faster than fives. Only fives. Fives the whole way. Now you can go up less than 5. That's totally fine. But no more. So just want to make sure, not sure, again, don't know if you're doing that just because of trying to make the video shorter for demonstration purpose, or if that's actually how you're practicing. But just in case you thought it was okay to practice that way, it's never a good idea. So yeah, because some of the takes at the faster speeds, I don't think it should have been moved up. Going up in fives would have made it better, I feel. Maybe, because... but anyway, at the slower speeds, definitely hearing pinky flatness causing bar chords. And I think a big part of that is because of thumb placement. So for this stuff, because, you definitely got, looks like some decent sized hands there to be able to hit bigger stretches. However, when you're hitting, the whole step stuff, especially, you really need your thumb back behind your hand so you have a good even stretch with those fingers. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. So you need to get your thumb out from here and get it behind so it's like in the middle of your hand. Get a good stretch. So we're going to be working our way down to where the stretch gets bigger and bigger. So like if you're trying to have your thumb up over the top like this for hitting like the, these bottom three, whether you're doing your middle finger or your ring finger, like you can't have your thumb up over here like this. It's just not going to work. You got to get it down behind the fretboard there. So we got to make sure, like when you're playing the, what was it? You can hear it like your pinky going down like that a lot. So yeah, with your thumbs up here like this. Something like that. But yeah, basically just the pinky, it kept playing or hitting both the E and the B string, and we want to get rid of that. Got to get rid of that. So that's what we're going to be focusing on here for number one. So yeah, I'm going to try and show it from the back. Won't be able to have the mic on. hopefully that showed okay there. But yeah, thumb back behind the fretboard or behind your hand. So basically, if I'm doing it down here, like my thumb is like right behind that 9th fret. So if you use your middle finger for the whole step, or your ring finger for the whole step stretch, thumb needs to be like right where like your 2nd or 3rd finger is going to be. They're pretty close to that. So again, like I'm holding 8, 10, and 12 here. Thumb's like basically right behind the 9th fret. Right up here, when I'm on the high E string, it's more on the 10th fret. So just basically right in the middle there. So having it up here and drifting over this way, that causes problems. That makes it easier for the pinky to go flat and create accidental bar chords. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. Also, it just reminded me something. Every now and then I got the impression that you knew during a take that it wasn't good enough, but you continued to finish the take anyway. If that's the case, anytime you knowingly continue finishing a take when you know that it wasn't good enough, like you recognize a mistake during the take, but you continue to finish it anyway, that's one of the worst things anybody can do. Absolutely one of the worst things you can do. Because all that does is practice bad habits, and it makes it next to impossible to fix it. So remember, just anytime you notice a mistake happening, you want to stop immediately and try it again. You want to address the mistakes immediately as soon as they happen. So remember, we got to practice like we're recording in the old analog days. So it's got to be a perfect take. So if you make the mistake, during the take, you don't just continue on. You got to fix it. We also only have a finite amount of energy for this stuff. So we don't want to waste our time and energy on bad takes. Yes, they happen. Absolutely. I make mistakes all the time when I practice. But when the mistake happens, you got to stop and address the mistake and try it again. So this way we spend our time and effort and energy on correct takes. So remember, practice does not make perfect. Practice makes permanent. So therefore, only perfect practice makes perfect. So yeah, just if you notice that you are making a mistake or it's not sounding good enough while you're doing it, don't continue on. Stop, try it again. Focus on the good takes. Accuracy. That is the most important thing. Playing accurately. Always chase accuracy before speed. In fact, never chase speed, only chase accuracy. You're just going to get faster by playing accurately at faster and faster tempos. Accuracy is always first. All right, let's go to 120 now. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, that was bad. I got to do it again. I wish I could this mic would pick up my voice from further away. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, four. You know what? I question that low E. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Crap. See? I make a mistake, so I'm stopping. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, right there, that's exactly what was happening when we were playing some stuff. What I just accidentally did. 1, 2. This is difficult. 1, 2, 3, 4. God damn. Okay. New rhythm based off of or expanding on the previous rhythm. So this time it's a 3/4 time signature, and so everything is going 16/8, 16/8, 16/8, 16/8. So just down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, the whole way through. All right, 1. Actually, I'll count it off how the rhythm goes. 1 E, a 2, and a E, and 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 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. One, two, one. I was counting out 4, wasn't I? I need to count off 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That's very difficult. Okay, suspended chords. So we're going to just focus on part of this. So the idea is, let's cover it up. Hold on. Eventually it's going to be that. We're going to have the triad, then the sus2, then the sus4. But to get things started, ease into this, we're going to go, basically going to put in the triad chord and then the sus4. We're going to wait on the sus2s because those are a bit more difficult when open strings are involved. I'll change my setting here. Okay, so I'm going to basically just go through the first one, first key, and then your job will be to fill in the other 3 keys. So just the triad, then the sus4. So we have no sharps, no flats over here, so that means we're in the key of C. So we're going to start with, like your basic C major chord. So starting with that guy. And then what we're going to do is look for the third interval or intervals within the chord shape we already have. And then we're just going to raise it up to the next note in key. So we'll start with that there. So the third interval of C is E. So the first E we come to is on the D string. So we need to raise the E up to an F. We also have the high E string, so we need to change that too. So we're going to raise that up to an F as well. So this E goes up to an F, this E up to an F, and that gives us C suspended 4. Okay, so now we're going over to chord number 2. So that is D minor. So now we look for the flat third. So that's the 1, 5, 1. That's the flat 3. F is the flat 3. So we need to raise that up to the next note in key, which gives us G. And that turns the chord into a D suspended 4. All right, chord number 3, the Phrygian mode. So we have E minor. So look for the flat third here. That's your root. That's the 5. That's the 1 again. G is the flat third. So we need to raise it up to the next note in key, which is A. And that gives us E suspended 4. Okay, chord number 4, Lydian. So here we have a unique chord. So far, looking at the mode info at the top of each bar, we can see we have a 1, 4, and 5. 1, 4, 5. 1, 4, 5. We don't have that anymore for Lydian. We have 1 sharp 4 and 5. Now this chord name will not auto-populate within Guitar Pro. You'll need to manually type this one in. So, starting with your F major chord. So again, we look for the third. We're looking for the third and raising it to the next note in key. So we have the root note. There's the 5, root note again. B. B is the third interval of F. So we need to raise it to the next. Did I say B? That's A. A is the third interval of F. That's an A note. We're going to raise it to a B. B is the sharp 4 of F. So we'd have this. Yeah, that's a bitch bar to hold. So you got a couple options here. You can just take off those top 2 strings because they're so much of a pain in the butt. And then you just go with that. That's what I typically do. And you can also go with it like this. So 2 finger-friendly options. And that's totally fine to do with this stuff, because some chords, like as we get into more and more advanced stuff, they just don't work very well with the guitar. Like a lot of these things would be much easier on a piano in terms of like all the weird note structures you can have. But yeah, some stuff is just doesn't work out too well. We gotta get rid of some things. Some fingerings will just be impossible. So we always want to make sure we enter a chord here that is humanly possible. So just keep that in mind. Now, if you can pull off that bar, you're certainly welcome to do it. My hands, they don't like it. Most people's hands don't like it. But yeah. So yeah, manually inputting this. So you get your F suspended sharp 4. So why is it a sharp 4 and not a 4? So remember, it's always about the interval structure. So it is always based off of the major scale. That's where all the intervals come from. So if we had an F suspended 4, F is the 1, then we go 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 4th note in an F major scale is the 4th interval, which happens to be B flat. So if we had that, it would be a F suspended 4. But we don't have a B flat in this key. We have a B. So we have the root note, a sharp 4, and a 5. So F suspended sharp 4 is what we get. So very, very characteristic of the Lydian mode. All right, next, chord number 5 in the Mixolydian mode. So we got the G major. And looking for the 3rd interval. So there's your root. There's the 3rd. Raise it up to the next note in key. So B goes up to the C, and that gives us a G suspended 4. All right, A minor is next. So, looking for the flat third. There's your root. There's the 5, root note. C is the flat third. Raise it to the next note in key. Gives us C to D, creating an A suspended 4. And then we got Locrian mode. So, Locrian does not have a fifth interval. It has a flat 5 interval. So that right there tells you we're not going to have a regular suspended 4. In this case, it'll be a sus4 flat 5. And this does auto-populate in Guitar Pro. So I'm going to start with that diminished shape. So go for B diminished. Again, we're going to look for the flat third. So there's your root, flat 5, root note again. D is the flat third. We got to raise it up to the next note in key, which is E. So we get that. So B suspended 4, flat 5. You could also do like a bit of an open string version of it. So we can have the open B string and a high E string open as well. It has a bit more bright sound to it, I guess. So it's the same notes there, but then we're just playing the B note twice and having the high E string ring out instead of the fretted one. Oh yeah, there we go. So slight different sound, but yeah, that's the goal there. So you got, again, 3 other keys down here. You have the key signatures at the start, so you know which key to go to. And yeah, whenever it's filled out, go ahead and send it over. If you want to just do like one key and send it over to make sure it's going the right way, that's fine. But after this is done, then we will add in the suspended seconds next. But yeah, with the sus4s, they are a bit easier. So we're starting with that. Okay, any questions come up, let me know, and I'll see you again in your new videos.